So at big request, right, a lot of you have said you really enjoyed some of my business chats that we do here. And I don't do them too often. This is kind of where if you go to social, you can kind of grab some of my business stuff. Obviously, if you follow me at NicoleWalters.com, you can learn tons of business stuff. And actually, if you are catching this one before April 11th, I'm having a live event in Beverly Hills at my office, at my headquarters for 30 women. If you are interested in coming to that event because you have a business, because you are growing a business, because you are in corporate and you'd like to start a business and you are seeking to do that the right way, because as we know, the economy is doing a lot of crazy things and we can't skip steps. I mean, shortcuts are not a thing anymore. And you're looking for the type of guidance, support, and a room of people just like you. Head over to TheInsider.Live and you can learn more about this event. You can learn more about how I work. And hopefully, because there's only 30 spots, you can be one of those 30 people. But we always sell out. I actually don't really promote it much. You've probably never heard about it. So head over to TheInsider.Live and I would love to see you there. But that said, I'd love to chat with you today a little bit about business. And the number one thing that I think no one's really doing right now that they need to be doing in order to actually get ahead. And it's something that I think a lot of us who've ever started a business of any size. I don't care if you are a mom and pop who's selling sandwiches outside of the soccer game, or you've been in business and you are now doing 100 million. This is the number one thing that is commonly forgotten, and we don't understand how important it is or how easy it is to do consistently, because even a tiny little difference will make just night and day around your revenue, and it actually will get you through these tough times. And that thing is something that I've had to talk to one of my clients about. So if she's listening to this, she'll know who she is, but none of you guys will. I'm not gonna name drop her, but I have this great client. And she is a huge influencer online. A lot of influencers or people who have a social media presence work with me. A couple of New York Times bestsellers or, Real Housewives, shout out to all of you who are listening. I love working with you. But I work with, lots of people. I also work with your local dry cleaner. I also work with a couple of doctors. I work with, regular folk too. But they come to me because they maybe have had some success online, or they have a great business idea, but ultimately they just don't know how to either grow their business, scale their business, right? Take it to that next level, or they're trying to figure out how to really launch it successfully in a way that feels stable. And I have this client who's huge, has a great online presence, and I absolutely love her. She shares, her life. That's part of it. She's a lifestyle blogger, but she also shares great deals. She's someone who does a lot of like affiliate work. I mean, she's really incredible and I love her. Well, one of the things that she said to me, we've been working together for quite some time now. I've known her for almost 8 years now. And one of the things that she came to me when she said, Nicole, I'm ready to work with you. This economy's crazy. I've got, kids. And what I don't want to do is I don't want to compromise my, health, well-being, or family. Big. I get it. Everyone who I work with, I always say, do you have a point of compromise or that you will not compromise? Because I want to know that, right? That's really important. If it is your value, if it is your faith, if it is your new marriage, if it is your babies, whatever it is, we don't want that success in dollar if we're going to compromise that thing. There's that. The other thing she told me was she really needed to generate revenue because, with the way things are working in this economy right now, I mean, like everything costs more right now with some of the impending tariffs that, are slated to begin in the next month or so, particularly the one that's 25% out of Mexico. Just as a simple example, and this is real math, an avocado coming into the US from Mexico that typically would cost about $3 will now go up to $3.75. I remember when avocados were under $1. Do you know what I mean? So just letting you know that is the real mathematical difference. And those extra, pennies add up. Those extra dollars add up. And especially when you have a family, that was kind of what she was dealing with. So she came to me and like most of my clients, they come to me with an idea of what it is they need to be doing. My business is doing well, but this is the thing that I know I need to nail in order to get ahead. And for her, it was content creation, as well as more opportunities coming in. Now, bless it, I love all of y'all when you come to me and you tell me an idea of what you need to do, but chances are it ain't what you think it is, right? And what's nice is because I'm a corporate consultant, and one of the number one Google things about me is how does Nicole Walters make her money, right? Like, which is really funny, and I'm a consultant. That's what I do. That's my bread and butter. I came from the world of consulting. You can check my LinkedIn. I did it for I've been doing it now for, gosh, close to 20 years. But, before it became a cool thing online to do coaching and consulting and all that, I was doing it in corporations. I came into a business that was doing 2 million and scaled that to 200 million, with my team. So this is what I do. I just do it now for everyday people and for myself, and I've been an entrepreneur for myself for 15 years. So when people come into me telling me what it is they want to do, they don't understand that there's often a process where I'm going to evaluate and audit what you are doing well and what you aren't doing well, and cleaning up and optimizing what needs fixed before we start trying something new. So lots of gems here. I'm hoping you're writing these little notes down. If you're saying to yourself that I'm not making enough money, I need to add something new, odds are you're probably going to spend a lot of money making that simple mistake that a lot of people make, because odds are you need to look at where you're winning right now and pour gas on that first. So if you're finding yourself saying, look, like this thing in my business is actually a rock star, how can I optimize this so I'm making more money here, but it is costing me less? That's the first thing you need to do, right? So she came in, had all these ideas. We had to go through the whole process, right? How do we tighten up what's working? How do we make sure your revenue is stable? How do we make sure we're maxing out, but we're not adding new employees? We're not adding new expenses. We're not taking on extra things. So after we kind of buttoned those things down, she's like, this is all great. I feel so good about what my business is doing now. I feel good about, the products that I have. I feel confident because they're generating revenue and anyone who uses them loves them. But I don't want to have to sell anything, right? Like I need a salesperson or a coach or someone out here, maybe AI can do it, like someone to get out there. And this is the thing I want to tell you, friend. I don't care if you are, again, selling sandwiches outside of the soccer game or you are running a multi-billion-dollar corporation. If you individually do not learn how to sell your product and yourself and your business, you will never be all the way stable. Let me walk you through what that means, because I know a lot of you right now are like, that is literally the thing that keeps me off the internet. It's the thing that keeps me from wanting to even start a business. I hate the idea of selling. I hate marketing. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like a burden. I feel uncomfortable. I don't know how to close. Like, even if I can talk about my product, when it comes to the time where I have to ask for money or where I have to ask them to do something, it is so cringy and I am so uncomfortable that like I want to run the other way. I know a lot of you feel that way right now. The first thing I want to tell you is that the number one issue that you have with sales that you have to fix on the ground level is you need to be in love with your product. Like, you need to be in love with the thing you are selling. If you're telling me that you do not feel comfortable selling whatever it is, or you are not comfortable talking about it, then you are not in love with it. And here's what it looks like to be in love with your product. And also for some of you who are in corporate right now or working for someone else, if you're like, man, I feel weird working here, it might be that you're not in love with the product. Part of why I left the world of insurance was because I really did not love the way healthcare was being administered in the US. And I worked in international insurance. So that was kind of my big awakening moment. I was working in a division of a US-based healthcare company that was providing virtually 100% coverage for all of the employees that were dealing internationally, which meant that I got to see the best version of insurance being administered in the US. And I realized, oh, this was possible, but we don't do it. So conversation for another day, but understand that I was like, I am not in love with this product. And it became very difficult for me to continue to pour my best energy and dive deep into something I didn't love. And when I say this, I think a lot of you, may say to yourself, gosh, well, is that the issue? Is that I don't love what I do anymore? You may not love the way you have to show up. You may not love how much hard work it is. You may not love the style of the product you're administering. And all of those things can be fixed by a great consultant, because sometimes when you're in it, you're just far too close. So understand that those are things. And also sometimes it's just hard work, right? That's just part of business. Sometimes it is just hard work and you're not going to love that part. What I mean when I say you love your product, I mean you should be undeniable about the results that your product gives. You should be confident that when you are talking to someone about your product, you know it is going to do what it says it will do. And above all else, you should feel good that this thing that people don't have, that people need, that people will enjoy or want is going to be transformative for the better. And this applies from a muffin as a baker. You know, like if you're selling muffins that you think are kind of mediocre and kind of dry, take them off the freaking menu. I can't tell you how often I have clients who have had restaurants and cafes or food businesses, and you literally, I'll ask them, I'll say, "What are your 3 best products?" And they'll rattle off very quickly. These are the things that people love. But you'll have a menu of 10 items. So why do you have a menu of 7 additional items that you know people don't love? Let's cut that menu down to 5 items, right? That we know people just, you can't go wrong, right? You want to walk in there, and how many of us will turn down a restaurant when we walk in there and it's like, no, everything is good. Literally you can't go wrong on the menu. Everything is good, right? Versus going in and saying, whatever you do, don't order salads from there. Like, we all know that experience, right? I'm telling you right now, when you are running your business, if you find that you have 15 products that you're like, these, I don't even want to talk about them because they're not that great, or they don't get results, or people don't love them, you are better off picking one product and being all in and excited about that product, because that is the thing that people are going to clamor for. They're going to get it. They're going to pay for it. They'll likely pay just about anything. I mean, what is the difference between someone waiting around the corner in line for a product and someone paying double for that product? Whenever I see a business that has a line around the corner, sometimes it means that they've figured out exactly how much something should cost versus the popularity of it. But sometimes it means they could raise their prices. The line might be a little shorter, but they're ending up facilitating less people, happier employees, et cetera, et cetera. So understand that for you, whatever your product is, I'm not kidding. You could be an audio engineer. If you're saying to yourself, I am tired of editing books on tape, you know, because it is like boring and awful, and I find myself rejecting those clients or doing halfway work. Nobody wants to pay for your halfway work, right? Some of y'all do stuff for free because you're like, well, I don't want to hear anybody complain about it, you know, whatever. Look, if your work is trash, don't do it. Nobody wants your free trash. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. In the world of sales, when you have to sell your product, you need to be confident about it. There are things that I don't do, right? I love to look nice, right? I love to have a great outfit. I love when I'm on the red carpet feeling confident. I love when I'm filming on TV feeling good about what I have on. I hire a stylist. Why? Because I appreciate and respect the work. Shout out to Orlando Narcisse. You can find him online. He's amazing, right? I've worked with him exclusively since the beginning of my career. He's amazing. And I hire a stylist because of the fact that it's not something that's my ministry. That's not my ministry. I shop off the mannequin. You know, I used to shop at Target. If you know, you know. You know what I mean? I'm not the person who is gifted with putting together outfits, and I also don't enjoy it. You know, that's just not, it's not something I want to do. So I hire someone to do it. But also know that when it comes to consulting, that is something I know how to do. I am very good at consulting. If someone is willing to pay the dollar to sit down in my office, they will make back the dollar that they pay me. Like, I know that I know how to do my work, right? And I've been doing it for long enough that I absolutely feel confident in that work. And it's why I feel comfortable if someone says, hey, you know, can you help me with my business? I feel comfortable for the dollar amount that I charge because I know that I can deliver back at least that amount, if not more of it, right? Which is the point, right? To be able to deliver, 3 to 10x the return on their investment. And as long as they execute on what I say and do the thing that I say, like I'm confident that it can work. And so when I tell you how many people, whether it's influencers, when you're an influencer, you are selling your lifestyle. You are selling, the solutions that you have around parenting or around organizing or around cooking or whatever it is. But if you hate to cook, trust me, that's why you're not making money. If you are hating this and we're just going to say it like it is, there are so many influencers out there that come across my plate or that are falling out of their career because the lifestyle that they're curated and they're selling is not real. And it is causing them stress and anxiety to have to set the kids up, you know what I mean? Or clean their house all the time. They want to live with a messy house, but they can't because their house is a freaking TV set, you know what I mean? And it's frustrating. And they're saying to themselves, they don't want to create content. They don't want to sign up for more brand gigs. They don't want to sign up for more affiliate relationships because of the fact that it feels like too much work. They cannot sell themselves like that anymore. I'm telling you right now, y'all see my social media. It is the definition of imperfection. Okay. If I have that bar low, listen, y'all know when I come out, I'm not even fancy dressed. I don't even wear makeup all the time. My house is a mess. At any given time, you may see a toddler streaking across the back. That has happened to me before. Stark naked. I just keep it moving. My life is chaos. Okay. I am okay with being a hot mess because guess what? That bar is low. So y'all don't expect too much. Right. And it is a bar that I can maintain and I am comfortable with. It's always really funny to me when people try to lump me in on that sort of influencery, thing, because yes, I have influence. Yes, I'm able to share things that I love. But what's nice is when you hear me talk about a product, when you hear me advertise something, man, that Nicole must really actually like that product because she don't do this. Right. And that to me has held weight. It allows me to sell at even a higher dollar because people are willing to say, I will pay for Nicole to talk about it because her people know that it's real, that she don't even really do this like that. And I can tell you, it's been freeing for me to go and approach brand relationships because I'm able to say, I love your brand and this is something I want to do. It's freeing for me because also, since this isn't my bread and butter, I do not make $1 million on an Instagram post. I do not, post a bunch of links and hashtags and things like that. You guys know I don't do that. So this is not my bread and butter, right? I don't need to create and curate content in order to generate income exclusively. I make money in ways that y'all don't even see, and that is the blessing. And it's a life that I've designed for myself that makes it easy for me to sell. Understand that the skill of sales is the only thing that is recession proof. It is the only thing that economically will keep you going. When you watch these doomsday movies, right? When you watch these apocalypse things, these, zombie flicks where we're at the end of times and everyone's trying to navigate. When I see someone trying to get themselves into a certain shelter, like, let me in. I want to come in. I'm a doctor. I'm a this. I can bring this. I've got this solution. You've seen those scenes, right? And they're trying to navigate and negotiate with the other people to let them in for their safety. Y'all, that's sales. Okay, that is sales. Recognize that even at the end of times, if you are able to sell, you can potentially save your life, have enough food, and have everything you need. You don't recognize how important this skill is. Everyone that you've ever seen be successful, no matter how you feel about them, look at the president. He is a salesman, right? That is what he did. He sold himself better than Kamala. That's all that was, right? I want to let you know, well, we say that's all that was, but honestly, catch me on a different day. I'm going to tell you exactly what it was, okay? And some of y'all right now are like, come on, Nicole, but different conversation for a different day. I will tell you, no matter what, y'all, the ability to sell needs to be a priority. And I'm hopefully speaking to your hearts and minds right now for those of you who are saying, but Nicole, I don't even have a fancy business. What can I do to generate extra income for my family right now? Because we need to bridge the gap between the cost of eggs and our paycheck. I can tell you right now, you have something to sell. You have something to sell, whether that is saying, hey, I do carpool right now. There are mamas in my neighborhood who could use help with pickup and drop off. There's a great app called Hop Skip Drive, which is kind of like an Uber for moms that allows you to pick up kids. Sign up for Hop Skip Drive or start your own. Go into your cul-de-sac and say, hey, I would be happy to do pickup because our kids are all on the soccer team, $10 each. You have a minivan, you fit in 5 kids, you do that 5 days a week, that's $50 a day. Are you not mathing that math, y'all? That's over $1,000 extra a month from you going to do the same drive you were going to do anyways. But you're not thinking, you're saying to yourself, well, I don't want to knock on the door and offer that. The worst they can say is no. You're already sitting in the broke. You're already sitting in the $0. If you step up and knock on that door, you have a 50% chance at the yes. And that's the difference between me and so many other people. That's the difference between the person you see successful with money and the person who doesn't. Aside from other social and economic things, systemic racism, yada, yada, right? But that is the difference, right? Is that a lot of people who are out there finding success and making ends meet during tough times are the people who are not afraid to go out there and knock on the door and ask, right? And asking is what sales is. So if you're confident, if you're able to say, look, I do know how to successfully pick up a child and bring them home because I do it with mine every day, you are confident in that product, right? Take that product to the masses and get out there and offer it to them at a reasonable rate, and you will generate income. That is business 101. And if you find yourself saying, I'm really not confident in that thing, evaluate your product with the help of a consultant. Fine tune it to the place where you know it's undeniable. When I tell you, one of the things that makes me proudest, just like this client that came into me and said, Nicole, I love my products, but I'm also terrified to sell. Getting her to a point where she was able to say, people are stupid if they don't work with me. That is the energy she has. Literally, when people say to her, oh, I don't know, now's not the right time, she's like, I'm gonna just see you later. And that is very much the energy I have around my stuff. You can go and consult, sit down, spend dollars with everybody else. You will eventually make your way around to me. That is what I know for sure. I just know it, whether it is today dollars or later dollars. It's just that chances are I'm going to be more expensive later because tomorrow's price is not today's price, and as long as my stock keeps rising, my price does too. And the same energy is the energy that I take into the work that I do for my clients. I know that if you come and sit down with me in my office, that I'm going to be able to change your life, that I'm going to be able to change your bank account, that you're going to have more confidence and more coins. And that is 100% what you should be bringing to every single thing you do. If you do not have that passion and energy, it is time to find a new career, because what you won't do is spend time building your product, refining your product, getting a team together, getting the tools together, and then sitting on it and not telling anybody about it. If they can't find you, they can't pay you. How much time are you spending every single week, every single month, telling people that your business exists and that they would be stupid not to be involved? When was the last time you did that? And I can tell you right now, if you're saying to yourself, honestly, I don't know the last time that I talked to my previous clients that I had and said, can I still help you? It's been a while. I don't know the last time I told somebody, oh, this is the work that I do, and I could work for you too. I don't know the last time I've gone down a list of people that I know in this industry would benefit from who I am and hit them up and told them I exist. If you don't know the last time you did that with energy, right? If you're not doing it every day for an hour, if you're not doing it every week for 4 to 5, then of course you don't have the money that you want. I can tell you right now, though, that money's still out there. Every single dollar that has ever been printed is still in circulation, except for the ones that are destroyed by the US Mint because they're in bad shape. Okay, but there's money still being printed. That money is still out there. Just because it's changing hands does not mean that you are not eligible to get your piece as well. So what are you doing to get out there and get it? Because if people can't find you, they can't pay you. I can't emphasize that enough. If that is the one takeaway that you are getting from this chat today, it's what are you doing to get out there to get your piece? Because I know that part of how we found each other is because you're putting in the work that I put in too. You're out there creating, you're out there doing. That work is meaningful. And guess what, friend? You deserve to get paid for it. So get out there and go sell.